guys, MJ here. I wanted to play something new, something not too common, something at least I don't think is common. I haven't looked around on YouTube, but at any rate, I spent some time on the itch.io, I believe it is, website, looking for like free games and whatnot, and I came across this one that looked pretty interesting, called Redacted Life. And it seems like one of those things that starts out as an indie horror game and then kind of turns itself on its head a little bit. So I wanted to give it a shot and see where it goes. So let's do exactly that. Yay, start. I'm already liking the music. I first realized that I was a character in a video game about 3 weeks ago. Huh, okay, it's getting right into it. Save, load, settings, help, quit. You only get one. What? You only get one chance to save? Okay. At first I noticed little things, glitches, things blinking in and out of existence. Then I tried to remember things like how I met my girlfriend Rebecca, where I was born, or either of my parents' names. I couldn't remember. I could only remember as far back as a month ago. It was a hard 3 weeks. The worst part was that when I tried to explain this all to Rebecca, it was like she wouldn't listen to me, like she couldn't hear me. I guess the game's programming could only stretch so far. Eventually, I decided to just let things happen and see how things would unfold. I mean, after all, despite how existential crisis-inducing finding out your life's what a game was, my life was a pretty good life. Might as well enjoy it, right? Then Rebecca decided we should move out. Finding an affordable home to rent, it was too large a place to own all by ourselves. We packed our things from our city apartment and drove to the countryside. We're here. We stepped out of a car. There it is, Adrian, the house over there at the end of the road. I looked at the mansion in the distance. Come on, Sheska. I opened the back door of the car to let Sheska out. It's a puppy! Sheska was our dog, by the way. He's so cute! He looks like a dog. Looks like really big for a Shiba Inu, but it looks like a Shiba. However, as soon as she got out of the car, Sheska started growling. Well, that's a bad sign. Rebecca turned to Sheska. Aw, what's the matter, girl? She's scared of the house. I think she's scared of the house. Why? I don't know. Because it looks like the mansion's architect was a fan of Edward Gorey? I guess something upset her. Animals can sense things, you know? Maybe it was a squirrel or something. Never mind. Let's go inside. I looked around. I could see from here that there was a study room that led to a massive grand ballroom. It was the kind of grand ballroom that I could imagine also doubling as a final boss arena. Very unusual furniture. I stared at a weird painting of what I interpreted as 2 horses. The frame it was in looked like it had 4 sets of claws trying to rip the artwork open. It's that right here, I guess. Very unusual. I prefer to call it rustic charm. I love how old-timey this place looks. ... What? Scared? No. Well, I don't think something's gonna jump out and shout, a boogie woogie boo, but I still feel a huge amount of unease. Don't worry, I'll protect you from anything in this household. That doesn't look good. Rebecca started glitching out again. It happened from time to time. It was the first thing that made me realize I was in a game. It used to freak me out, but now the novelty is worn off, or the shock's worn off, whatever you want to call it. It seemed like me acting out of character causes this. It's like Rebecca can't figure out how to react to me. Adrian? Earth to Adrian. I snapped out of it. Yeah, Rebecca? I said I'll protect you. Sure. Now, I know what you may be thinking. If we were moving into this house, why were we acting like we'd never set foot in this house before? Apparently, this is a world where you pay an estate agent a lot of money and just hope for the best. You just cross your fingers and wish really hard, and they magically find a beautiful house you can afford to lodge in. We're leaving this crazy house. A young couple came lumbering down the stairs. They were each carrying a suitcase. I've had it. I can stand for a lot of things, but not this. And with that, the couple left. My. A person, whose gender was unclear to me, approached us. They were wrapped up in several layers of winter clothing, despite the fact that it wasn't winter. It seems another family has left us, with another to replace them. It's like a revolving door around here. Hello, my name's Tyrrell. How are you? Their voice was also ambiguous, and not just in terms of gender. The voice sounded young and ancient, childish yet wise all at the same time. I'm Rebecca, and this is Adrian. Why were those people leaving? They're scared of the spirit who dwells in this household. It's a terrible story, one fraught with tragedy. Would you like to hear it? I told them that no, we wouldn't, and Tyrrell began. The sweater-layered character told Rebecca and me pretty full and complete information about the mansion. They told us about how the structure was originally commissioned in the 1800s, and about the original owners of the mansion. Miro and Clara were a couple who'd recently married before moving into their new home. Miro first met Clara when she became his assistant for his magic act. This eventually led to them falling in love with each other. Miro the Magician, as he was called, was an illusionist. He was also rumored to have dabbled in two dubious things, adultery and the dark arts, though neither was ever proven publicly. He was apparently successful enough as a magician to afford the mansion, and continued performing with Clara over many years until, because there's always an until with these stories, until. For some reason, my mind kept wandering, but I did my best to stay focused to Tyrrell's cliched story. That really was an awful picture frame. So what happened to the magician and his wife? They disappeared. I sighed. No one seemed to notice. Really? The magician disappeared? How ironic. Very cute. They completely vanished. Were they ever found? Eventually, Miro was found dead in the basement of this very mansion. His body was covered with long, deep slash marks, like he'd been scratched to pieces by some sort of long-fingered animal. But his wife was never found. I think Clara knew that her husband had been cheating on her. Maybe when she found out, she confronted him with it. Maybe Miro kept a book filled with black magic, and that had something to do with it. But I think something very dark happened on the night they disappeared. And I believe that Clara's ghost still haunts this place to this day. It would explain all the strange things in this place. Eerie noises, furniture rearranging itself after you leave the room. Then Tyrrell suddenly stopped their history lecture. Do you believe in ghosts? I've never really thought about it seriously before, but no, I didn't believe in ghosts. Sorry. It's fine. No need to apologize to me. And what about your beau? What does he think? I don't know. How do you know all this? I researched this mansion's history laboriously. I think it's important to know the history of a home that's managed to stick around for over 100 years. But why are you still staying here if you believe there's a ghost? I've made this an occupation of mine. In the past, I've proven to have a knack for solving ghosts' problems and helping them find peace. You're a ghost hunter? Not a hunter, my dear. I prefer to think of myself as a ghost whisperer. Are there really enough ghosts in the world for you to do that? Well, you'd be surprised. But I also provide other services to people, living people, like Wiccan charms and divinations. Divinations? I don't know. I'll give your girlfriend a tarot reading if you like, free of charge. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I've never had a tarot card reading before. Oh boy. After clearing a space on one of the tables, Tyrrell got Rebecca to shuffle the tarot deck. I looked at a bouquet of freshly cut flowers nearby. They were white lilies because, of course, they would have been white lilies. The funeral flower, a symbol of death. Of course the game designer couldn't resist that. Taking the cards from her, Tyrrell took the top 5 cards off the deck, placing them face down in a formation on the table. This tarot card reading will be an interpretation of your future. They, meaning Tyrell, not Rebecca and Tyrell, slowly flipped over each card, revealing their illustrations. Oh. They're not gonna say they sense danger or anything cliche like that, are they? What's wrong, Tyrell? This looks bad. Tell me, I want to know. Well, it's all up to interpretation, but... Tyrell pointed to the center card, the Fool. This card represents the Fool. That's you. I tried not to smirk at their bad phrasing. Nope, absolutely no room for interpretation there. Luckily, Rebecca didn't seem to notice. The card in the center represents the person this is going to happen to, and the Fool is usually a person who is both curious and lucky. Rebecca put her arm around mine and squeezed it. Well, I'm certainly lucky to have Adrian. Yeah, and I you. No matter what I may say about Rebecca, I really do care about her. But that's what makes this feeling in the back of my mind worse. The card below represents a person who will be involved. This represents determination and endurance. So, a determined person? Exactly. Someone who will keep going, even in the face of adversity. This is such a beautiful card. Thank you. This is a custom tarot deck I had made especially for me. In my opinion, any tarot reader worth their weight in salt should get a custom tarot deck. Now let's see. The card at the top represents another person involved. Specifically a woman, since this is the Empress card. Would that be me? Am I the woman? Since this is a tarot reading of you, I'd actually interpret that woman as Clara. The magician's wife? I'm sure her ghost is here, and as long as you're in this house, you and her will be connected. The leftmost card represents a past event. The tower is associated with sudden, disruptive, and potentially destructive change. It can also mean liberation and the gaining of freedom. But in terms of destructive change happening in the past, I'd define it as Clara's past. Well, that can't be good. Oh, death is an often misunderstood symbol. It doesn't necessarily represent a literal death. It can mean the death of an old way of life and the beginning of a new one. In other words, it could be a change as simple as adopting a dog or moving to a spooky mansion. Right. So to sum it all up, I believe that there's going to strange changes coming soon in your life. Something to do with this mansion's dark past. You'd best be careful. I mean, I know you've said that you don't believe in ghosts. You may think that this is a load of hogwash. No, this was really interesting. Thank you. You're welcome. Interesting? Well, I'd better get going. That's all I have to say. I'll see you later. With that, Tyrell left. Rebecca turned to me. So what now? Well, we still have a lot of unpacking to do, but I kind of want to do a bit of exploring first. Why don't we leave the rest of the luggage till later? It's only 2 suitcases. Look, I can do it myself. You can explore the house, and I'll catch up with you later. Okay. Oh, it's official. I'm trapped in a horror game. A badly written horror game. Never mind, I'll just go and get the luggage, shall I? Is this an adventure game? Because that sounded like a lousy first quest. I pulled out the 2 improbably sized suitcases. I call them that because this was all we packed. There was no moving van. There's traveling light, and then there's this. Our whole previous life was the contents of these 2 suitcases. With a heave, I lifted them up to carry them back to the mansion. After about 5 years or so, I eventually finished my trek up to the footpath and made it back to the house. I'll go put the luggage upstairs. No. Right in front of me was a ghost that looked like the woman on Miro's Magic Act poster. Clara. What do you want? It wouldn't answer. Ah! Adrian? Ah! What's wrong, Adrian? After I finished restarting my heart, I answered her. I saw a ghost. It was the ghost of a woman. I think she was the magician's wife. She relaxed and gave me a pitying look. Didn't you see it? Oh, Adrian, you probably just thought you saw something. I mean, this drafty house. Yeah, drafty. Sure. Well, you're right, Rebecca. Drafts do get my imagination aflutter. Now, if that's everything, I'm gonna go back to exploring the ground floor, okay? Yeah, just be careful, alright? I will. Just my luck. Just as Rebecca comes, the ghost vanishes. Before, I had wondered if the ghost was going to be real or someone in a mask. Either way, it would have been dangerous, but after that adventure, I knew the ghost was real. I had a feeling that Rebecca was safe from the ghost. Well, as safe as she could be. What I mean is, I was trying to imagine this as a game written by someone else. I thought back to horror films, and generally speaking, the young woman who had a boyfriend was usually safe. Their boyfriend, on the other hand... I continued upstairs. Well, this wasn't our bedroom. I had accidentally stepped into the attic. Dust-covered toys filled the room. Toys? Did Clara and Miro have children? Tyrell didn't mention that. Were they planning on having children, perhaps? Did something happen? Ah! Rebecca! I found Rebecca on the ground. I rushed to her aid and helped her up. What happened? There! She pointed to the wall. Get out. The letters were in all caps, and it appeared that the author tried their best to try and transcribe their own screaming. It was written in blood and looked like it was going to be hell to scrub out. It said, "Get out." But by now it really should have said, "Get out, you idiot!" Did you see it run past you? Did you see what happened? I heard you scream and I rushed over. No one passed me. How could you miss it? I saw it. I saw the ghost. Maybe it was a draft. This is no time for jokes. All right, I admit it. I was wrong. There was a ghost, like you said. You don't have to be a jerk about it. Sorry. You were right, Adrian. I'd prefer it if I wasn't. Tyrell said that they plan on doing a seance. Seance? You know, that thing in movies where a group of people gather around to try and contact ghosts. I know what a seance is. What, we're just going to forget about the malevolent ghost in Mansion? Tyrell says it'll be fun. Yep, I guess we were. Rebecca, don't you think we should leave? It's not safe here. What? But this is our home now. Fine. I'll see you later. Trying to convince her to go wasn't going to work. I realized that. This was all just a game, after all. And not even one of the good ones. Wait, what's this? Behind a section of ripped wallpaper and worn wooden wall paneling, there was a marble tile, and it clearly didn't belong there. I pressed down on the tile and a nearby wall opened up, revealing a pitch-black corridor. My goodness, you found a secret passageway? Really? You're surprised? In this house? Rebecca and I are going to perform a seance in the vestibule. Vestibule? Would you care to join us? Yeah, Rebecca told me already, and I'll pass. Also, are you sure it's wise to do a seance when there's a ghost that wants everyone to leave? There won't be any way to give the ghost true peace unless we can find a way of communicating with her. I hope you change your mind, though. The more people, the more power. I'll be in the vestibule if you want to join in. Enough was enough. No more letting things unfold. If I was in a horror game, at least I could choose how the story ends. I had two choices. Win the game or find a way out of the game. The problem was, I had no idea how to go about doing either. Where should I start? Good question. Let's follow them back. Oh, what the hell, I'll join them. I decided to meet up with Rebecca and Tyrell for the seance. Rebecca was trying to shoo Sheska out of the room. Why? Sheska's a good puppy. Sorry, girl, you wait over in the sitting room. We can do it here. I've set up everything we need on the table. I looked. Next to Tyrell's tarot card deck was an old-looking dagger with a black handle. What's that? It's called an Athame? Athame, I don't know. It's a ceremonial blade used for rituals. It's a tool of medieval origin, I've been told. It's also said to have supernatural and magical properties. Basically, it's a knife that also doubles as a wand. Cool. I'll start the seance now. Everyone hold hands. We held hands. Now I'm going to sing a chant. They say that those from beyond respond to the vibrations of music. Who's they? Well, I do. Mostly. Great. Hey, Tyrell, I have a weird feeling. Like a spooky feeling? Oh boy. That's good. Perhaps you're picking up something using a second sight. I'll do the chant now. Tyrell coughed to clear their throat. Ooh. 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 Really? That was the chant? Thankfully, nothing happened. Then Rebecca leaned towards me and whispered in my ear, "Hey, Adrian, guess what? I don't have that weird feeling anymore." I was just about to tell Rebecca the horrible implications for saying something like that when the universe did it for me. As if on cue, the lights went out. Yep, something is definitely going to happen, I thought to myself. Ah! We turned to see the ghost right in front of us. This wasn't meant to happen. What do we do? Well, Tyrell tried to reason with the spirit. Clara, please, what are you doing? This isn't how it goes. It wasn't working. Of course it wasn't working. Bro. That's creepy. That is creepy. That's good. That's creepy. Adrian. I glanced around for a makeshift weapon. How do you kill a ghost? I took Tyrell's Athame dagger from the table. I held it threateningly towards the ghost. Leave us alone! The ghost kept approaching us. Her floating stride didn't even break. Stop it! I swung the Athame and cut the ghost straight through the middle. The ghost of Clara torn in half like a cloud of smoke. She was no longer appeared solid like a person. Clara slowly faded into mist. And just like that, she was gone for good. Adrian, you did it! I did it. I was able to save everyone. I won the game. Now hopefully my life would be better, right? I mean, what happens after a video game ending? Buffering, apparently. Error. Tech Lotus corrupted. Redacted life has encountered an error and needs to shut down. Host is unresponsive. Attempting to reconnect to host. Please wait. Unable to reconnect to host. Host Adrian has been terminated. The end? Tell me, are you happy with this fate? Nobody got hurt. The ghost went away, but on the other hand, the ghost didn't get any peace either. She got killed. Adrian killed her. Then I'll turn back time. Enough was enough. No more letting things unfold. If I was in a horror game, at least I could choose how the story ends. I had two choices: win the game or find a way out of the game. Problem was, I had no idea how to go about doing either. Where should I start? Let's go back to the attic this time. I decided to go back to investigate the attic. I decided to return to the attic. I wanted to explore the rooms more. Maybe I could find some answers here. Uh-oh. I froze. Literally. The temperature in the room seemed to take a sudden drop. I could practically see my breath in little puffs of steam. Wait a minute. What am I doing? I was standing in a room, on my own, in a mansion where I knew there was a ghost. I mean, it's a game. I know it's just a game, but what does that make me? Can I still die? Will I come back? Will it hurt? Will I remember dying? 1,000 questions were in my mind. Then I turned to another thought, one that had occurred to me ages ago, but had brushed it off because I didn't bear thinking about. What if I wasn't in a game? What was that thing called? The Truman Show delusion? When someone thinks they're the main character in a reality TV show? Was there a name for the video game equivalent of that? I started thinking, was I a guy who realized he was in a game? Or was I a man who was going mad in a supernatural mansion? Or was I just mad? Could I really be going mad? I had been prolonging it long enough with my thoughts. I had to face whatever was behind me. I turned around. Nothing. Thank God. Oh. You have made a fatal error. Would you like a second chance? Yeah. Okay, don't go up to the attic. Enough is enough. No more letting things unfold. If I was in a horror game, at least I could choose how the story ends. 2 choices: win the game, find a way out of the game. Problem is, no idea about how to do either. Where should I start? Okay, explore a secret passageway. That sounds like the worst idea possible. I was feeling in a cautious mood, so of course I decided to explore the damp, dingy tunnel. I walked down the dark, creepy stairs. I reached the basement, which turned out to be a cellar. Barrels filled with wine lined all over the room. At least I think it was wine. But with how the rest of this mansion was designed, there were probably 7 or 8 barrels that probably opened up to a secret passage. I took another look around and noticed something else. There was an old suit of armor on a wooden stand. How did I miss it? Was it there before? Anyone in there? Thank God. That's not good. It started to glitch. I was strangely drawn to it, like a moth to a flame. I mean, it wasn't just an attraction to it. I mean, I love medieval things, but this feeling was more like the suit of armor was different from everything else in this world. Like it didn't belong here. Like me. I touched it, and error. Lost connection to host Adrian. Searching for new host. Host Hannah found. Reconnecting to new host. Please wait. He just closed the game. Okay. I had heard about this. This is why I connected my my webcam, my recording software to show the desktop, or to record whatever's on the screen instead of recording the game. Because if I had been recording the game, when the game shuts down on its own, it would have corrupted my entire recording. So I knew that part was coming up at least. So let's restart the game. Oh God, come on. School life romance, what? What the hell? Oh, I think I see what it's doing. Oh, God damn it. God damn it, I can't get it to do what I want. Hang on. Okay, well, we'll just have to deal with it like this for now. Sorry, guys. Okay, scene messages, transitions. Okay, everything's still the same as it was in the original game. I guess you want me to say something inspirational about the cherry blossoms and how they're a metaphor for my life, turning around, and all that other high school romance stuff. But that's not me. Instead, I'll take a moment to set things straight before someone goes and starts accusing me of things. And that music is really loud. There we go. Okay. Starts accusing me of things. Okay. Firstly, no, I didn't run to school late with a piece of toast in my mouth. I got up on time. I ate. I got to school early. How do you think I got time to do this narration in my head? And no, I didn't crash into a cute boy on my way here. I'm not a total klutz. I don't even get why I constantly do this, monologuing to myself. Dad's told me to stop with this narrating stuff. Who would I even be talking to? Someone telepathic? Oh well, it's fun. I can't help it. And I'm pretty sure other people have done it too. That's what I tell myself anyway. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You're probably asking for footnotes by now, aren't you? I'm Hannah. And the biggest problem I have is that I was born with pink hair. Well, sort of. Let me explain. Pink hair isn't exactly normal here, no matter what anime tells you. When I was born, my parents saw my hair and simultaneously had the same thought. Oh no, our daughter is an anime protagonist. And from that moment on, weird and unexplainable things tried to creep into my life. My parents did their best to protect me from it all. When I was 2 years old, an imp, or demon of some sort, was found creeping by my crib. My mom hit it with a rolling pin and called animal control. When I was 6, a man in a dark cloak knocked on our front door, trying to tell my mom and dad that I was the chosen one from a prophecy written long ago on old stone somethings. Dad closed the door on him. It all ended up being too much for my mom. She ended up packing a suitcase and left me and Dad when I was 8. She didn't realize that this only created a tragic backstory for me. I can make jokes like that because I don't remember her too well, to be honest. And now it seems like fate is trying to rope me into a romance. Hey, this was Cayman. If you're as bad with names as I am, just think of this. Keeman sounds like demon, which is ironic seeing as Keeman had the same temperament as one. Keeman's hair was bleached and dyed, which was against school rules. If it wasn't, I would have dyed my hair something normal. Hey, aren't you gonna ask me? He did that thing where he leaned against a row of lockers trying to look cool and casual, but was leaning at an awkward angle, so it ended up not looking cool or casual. Ask you about what? He sighed. Ugh. It figures that you wouldn't know what was happening tonight, despite all the posters around the school. Idiot. Then I realized what he was referring to, but I decided to play dumb, because I didn't want to ask him, as he put it. Look, if you really must know, I suppose that I'll tell you. Just consider yourself lucky that I just happened to have a flyer handy, okay? He blushed as he handed me a poster with the edges of it, where it had been stapled somewhere, had been torn off. Do I even need to say he's had a crush on me since the beginning of the school year? No? We're good? Everybody on the same page now? You idiot. He seemed to think that constantly calling the object of his affections an idiot would be seen as endearing or quirky or an attempt to hide his true feelings. And not, as it was in reality, that it was really an off-putting and annoying thing that was really getting me cheesed off. I can't read right, but you guys get the idea, yeah? Okay. Keeman is what you'd call a bad boy, if said bad boy didn't really commit to the whole thing. What I mean is, oh hell, it doesn't need an explanation. You can just see it for yourself. I looked at the flyer. It was for the upcoming school festival. There's a festival happening tonight. So, assumedly, I guessed that you'd want to ask me to come with you there once you found out about it. Not that I want to go with you badly or anything, but I probably won't say no to you if you asked. What a charmer. Stop looking at me like that. I'm not looking at you like anything. And no, sorry, but I'll probably be staying home tonight. I'm really busy with schoolwork. What? Well then, fine. It's not like I care. I've got to be somewhere. With that, he walked off. Hannah. Oh no. Hi, Hannah. Can I talk to you for a second? That's Zen. To remember his name, just think of Zen. You know, because he's so calm. His machine gun stuttering and constant twitchiness is the absolute picture of Zen, right? His name also starts with the same letter as Shy, so he's also got that going for him. Go ahead, I won't stop you. I see you have, Sen and I knew each other since childhood. I first met him at a party just before we started going to school. I've never left a party quicker. He didn't stutter in the same way a stutterer stuttered, if that makes any sense. He stuttered almost every word, not just words beginning with B or words at the beginning of a sentence. And it entirely stemmed from his shyness. Or maybe it didn't. I guess Sen was sort of an anomaly. I see you have one of the flyers for the festival tonight. I wanted to ask you if you wanted to go with me. I'm sorry, but I actually plan on staying home tonight. Uh-oh. Hey! Ah! Is this guy bothering you? No? Wait. No? No. I accidentally clicked on that. Sorry. Keeman, this is Sen. We were kids together. Yeah, well, that may be. But he just seemed to be trying to go above his league. Oh, brother. No, he's not. Calm down. Also, didn't you just say that you had to be somewhere? Fine. Whatever. He stalked off. Thanks, Hannah. Don't mention it. Phew. Huh? A new guy? Excuse me, but where am I? It was an odd question, but I indulged him. You're on the 3rd floor of the South Wing. He gave me a look like he wanted more info than that. You're in Mikasuka High School? He looked at me as if he didn't believe me. I'd never seen this guy before. So, first the bad boy, then the shy childhood friend, and now this guy. Was this the mysterious exchange student who would complete the trifecta of high school cliches? Are you looking for a classroom? No. He gave me a look like he was sizing me up, like he was judging whether or not he should let me in on a vital secret. Maybe he was a time traveler? In which case, I should probably go before he tries to rope me in on some kind of, are you one of them? Eh? It was like he was trying to ad-lib a test for me to prove something. He was having trouble, so I thought, what if? What if we have the same question? So I decided to give him the test instead of the other way around. If you mean, do I realize I'm supposed to be the protagonist? Then yes, I do. Not to boast. In fact, I don't want any of it. I've been trying to ignore it my whole life. Now, crazy as it was, I'd said this to people before, when I was younger, and they'd always laughed it off. But this guy... Wait, you're the protagonist in this game? This game? It was weird, but I suddenly felt a connection to this guy. I felt like I knew him better than Sen or anyone else I'd known for years. This guy I'd only met for 5 minutes. Who was he? I'm Hannah. I know, I could read your name above the dialogue box. And before you ask, no, I can't read your inner thoughts, just like you probably can't read mine. I couldn't tell what he was talking about. He could tell, and he unintentionally gave me a disappointed look, like I'd failed one of his tests. Nevertheless, he introduced himself. I'm Adrian. Hannah! Oh, God. I was wondering, that is to say, I was wondering who is that guy? Is he a friend of yours? Or is he bothering you? Jesus. Sen has clearly stunned Adrian. You almost broke the text box with that last one. Huh? No, he's not bothering me, Sen. We were just talking. Oh. Well then, I'll leave you both alone then. He looked like I'd just kicked a puppy or something. This seemed to be how Keeman and Sen operated. Every time they saw me talk to another guy around the same age as us, Sen would almost act heartbroken, and Keeman would respond with annoyed jealousy. It was creepy. Adrian still hadn't snapped out from his awe of witnessing Sen break the world record for the most amount of stutters per second. Adrian? Hello? I waved the flyer I still had with me in front of his face. He blinked at it, and then suddenly came to life. Oh my God. What? That's it. That's what I'm looking for. I glanced at the flyer. There was a photo for a suit of armor that would be on display during the festival. That's the exact same suit of armor that brought me here. Look, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm pretty sure that armor can get us out of here. He sounded like a crazy person. You sound like a crazy person. I know. But Please, help me. I can show you the display at the festival. I looked again at the poster in my hands. Oh. Oh? I just remembered. The festival's tonight. Tonight? That's great. Yeah, all I have to do now is wait and then go to there. So that's a lucky coincidence. I felt suspicious. Why should I go with you? Huh? Don't you want to get out of this place? Yeah, but how do I know you're not just a trap to make me an anime protagonist? What the heck are you talking about? Look, you don't have to leave with me, but at least show me to this armor display, please? I really don't know my way around here. He seemed too good to be true. I mean, a guy who just shows up, offering to take me somewhere I'll belong, this smacked of being a trap. And yet... Can you wait here until my classes finish? Finally, it was nightfall. Adrian and I walked past all the crowds and festival stands filled with sparklers, food, and drinks. At the edge of the festival, we found the steps leading up to the shrine. Well, we're here. The shrine's at the top of that hill. All the way up there? Great. Do you know where the suit of armor is? Not exactly, but I mean, it must be around here somewhere. We looked around. You really took my whole story rather well. It wasn't technically a question, but I knew it was. I guess I already, well, not exactly knew, but I had a feeling that everything was off kilter, you know? I felt like the whole world was focused on me, like the world was waiting for me to turn into the main character in an anime or something. Are you sure we're not fictional? Yes. Of course we're real. I feel real. Don't you? Well, yeah, but I bet everyone else here feels real. So, how do you know? Because the alternative doesn't bear thinking about. He didn't say it depressingly, just matter-of-factly. Once we find what you're looking for, do you think we'll end up somewhere we belong, or will we just end up in another game? And then another. Well, we've got to try. It's not the most hopeful plan, I know, but it's all I've got. I nodded slowly. I decided to turn the conversation over to something else. What are you wearing? Huh? That white bear thing around your neck. Oh, this thing. Yeah, it wasn't my idea. Rebecca gave it to me. I gave her one of my Letterman jackets, and she gave me one of her scarves in return. She was still wearing that same red and white jacket when I left. Then a thought occurred to me. Was Rebecca a real person? I don't know. Do you love her? Yes. Yes, I loved her. Why do you ask? It's just, you referred to her in the past tense. Like she was dead. Or you left her or something. I loved her, but now, I don't know if she ever even existed. Can you love someone if they never existed? Let's stop talking about Rebecca. Yeah, okay. I began thinking about my dad. Did this mean that he wasn't real? But how could that be? How was I born if he wasn't real? I felt like crying. This is too weird. I couldn't stay on that thought for long because we were interrupted. Hey! Keeman? Keeman had somehow managed to spot us and was staring daggers into Adrian. Don't tell me you're trying to steal her affections. Huh? No? There Keeman went, jumping the gun again. No. Are you kidding me? He thinks Adrian's a romantic rival just because I talked to him for 5 minutes? Suddenly he pulled out a switchblade knife. Crap. Just who are you? Keeman, are you crazy? Don't be stupid. Put the knife down. I suddenly remembered that saying don't be stupid was usually followed immediately by someone doing something stupid. Ooh. Hi, Clara. Ooh. Okay. We'll chill there. I can't. I won't give up. What was that behind him? Nobody's gonna take you away from me. I'll kill them before that ever happens. You're out of your mind. I looked around. Where was everybody? Then I saw it. Right at the top of the stairs inside the shrine, I saw a suit of armor. I darted up the stairs. Adrian quickly followed. Hey! We were halfway up the stairs. Keeman was close behind. Hannah! Wait! please. I love you. I know, Hannah, you're shocked because I've been keeping my true feelings so well hidden, but leave us alone. No one loves you like I do. No kidding. 3/4 up the stairs. I was ahead of Adrian. Come on, Adrian, we're almost there. Hannah! We reached the top. We just had to make it to the shrine. There! We made it, and just in the nick of time. We touched the suit of armor, and Antique Paladin has joined your party? Huh? Where are we? An RPG. A ghost attacks. It's Clara. What? Start! It is Antique Paladin's turn. You do not have enough mana. Fuck. Antique Paladin attacks. Ghost loses 0 HP. Ghost attacks. Oh, crap! Antique Paladin loses 9999 HP. Antique Paladin has been defeated. Uh-oh. How can Clara be here? I don't know. It's Adrian's turn. You do not have enough stamina for special attack. Adrian's defense increased. Ghost attacks. Shit. Adrian loses 9999 HP. Adrian has been defeated. Adrian! It is Hannah's turn. You don't have enough stamina. I don't know what to do. Hannah's defense increased. Well, wait, no! Ghost attacks. It's been defeated. All party members are dead. Game over. Okay. I'm going to cut this in 2 parts. I'm hoping the next part is not too short. But yeah, we're going to pick this up in another episode because this one's already running long. So I hope you guys join me for probably the last of Redacted Life. And so far, it's really cool. A lot of fun. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Cupcake Ninja out. I like it. It's getting dark. Stop! No. What the? What are you? I'm just following instructions. What? What? Why? Why? Why all of this? Why this? Why, Jesus? Why? You know, he's probably the one that's like, he's watching you.